So yeah. Recording in progress.
Yeah. Dr. Cleo, can you say hello? We're checking sound.
Hi, can you hear me?
Okay. So, waiting for two more
Looking
minutes.
for. Hi, can you hear me?
We can see, yeah, we can see you now. This is good. Yeah.
I don't
So,
like this one.
is it too easy?
Yeah, I sent her the information. So
Can you
this
hear
one,
me? Hello. There's an echo.
Yeah, there's an
I
echo
don't,
in
Uh,
your end.
is it?
Hi, it's Nkwali here.
So
Can you hear me?
I think you have two gadgets on in your
so I
house.
Hello.
don't need this one.
Echo.
I don't need this one. Oh,
Uh,
I do. When I
Hi,
talk, it's like,
it's Nkwali
isn't it
here.
the one causing echoes? Okay.
Hello. Echo. Uh,
When I talk,
Hi,
it's like,
Nkwali
isn't it
here.
the one causing echoes?
Yeah, there's someone
Oh,
talking there. I think one of you guys, one of the devices is on, so you have to have only one. Okay. Yeah, we are good now.
Are we good?
can we try again?
Why is it like for me i- you can hear me well?
No, yeah, because you can't hear. It's yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I think I hear this, then I hear this. Yeah, when I talk, I'm hearing uh, this and this, but it's okay. I can work with that as long as it's working.
It's okay. So
I don't see
yeah,
Lindsay.
it's okay. I do.
I'm here.
So you can start now. So the only person who is not there,
Hold on, I am still setting up
she's
here.
setting out too.
She said she's still setting up.
Okay.
Mhm.
How's my audio coming through now?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Are we just waiting for one more person to?
And can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can
Yes.
talk again.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Just 1 second. Yeah. Can you say something again?
Sabona,
No.
Sabona Unjani.
Huh? Yeah. Say something.
My name is Nomatamsang Mkwananzi.
There's no. There's no voice.
Nomatamsang Mkwananzi from Bulawayo, Zimbabwe.
Okay. Okay. Because she got a person because when I should
All
say
good?
the same.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Norma is supposed to start with the music.
Yeah, but we're waiting for you. She's there already.
Lindsay is there?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. All right. So we are ready.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Sorry
Nice
for
meeting
the
you too.
situation.
No, no worries, no worries. It's a Sunday. I'm home, so no worries. It's all good.
So Norma will start with the music.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. Um, yeah, as we are celebrating women, as we honor women who lead with strength, heal through their journeys. I wrote the song Halala Loske about 4 years ago. It's about our queen from the Ndebeles. She was King Lopengula's one of King Lopengula's wives. So when King Lopengula disappeared, as we all know, back in the history, he disappeared, and she remained in charge of the kingdom. She remained in charge of everything. She was the one training the Amabuto, the army, as we call them in Debele. So she was a very strong woman, and I heard she used to beat up men, like the white people there. She used to beat them up, and she would just be strong. So this is a very good song for this particular event. And yeah, I'll sing Halala Loske for you. The song is available on iTunes, on Spotify, and it also has a music video, so you can take time after this to go and watch the video, and you can actually see how she was, because I tried to show all her strengths and all the things that she did. So the song is called Halala Loske. Enjoy. Halala Loske. Halala Ndlovukazi, uyibekile induke bandla, wabamela abantu bakho, wasimela isizwe sakho. Siyabonga Qhumakazi, wena uyibekile induke bandla. Yeah, wabamela abantu bakho, wasimela isizwe sakho. Siyabonga Qhumakazi, wena mama wesizwe, qhawe lesizwe, wabusisizwe ngokuthula. Yeah, mama wesizwe, qhawe lesizwe, wabusisizwe ngokuthula. Ngakho sithi halala Nozike, maye halala Ndlovukazi, yeah, halala Nozike, halala Ndlovukazi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Norma. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are in different parts of the world. As we all know, March is a month for the celebration for women. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to the African Women of Influence Forum. This forum is more than just a space for conversation. It is a community, a place where stories are honored, voices are amplified, and experiences become sources of strength and inspiration. Our panelists bring wisdom, courage, and purpose, and it is through this collective power that meaningful change begins. As we engage today, may we lead with authenticity, listen with empathy, and support one another with intention. Let this be a space where we not only reflect on our genes, but also reimagine what is possible for ourselves and for the generations that follow. Thank you for being here and welcome. My name is Dr. Loveness Mabunu. I will be the moderator for this forum today. We want to acknowledge the land where we are right now. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional and unceded territory of the Kanheke Mohawk Nation. Montreal has long been a gathering place for many indigenous peoples, and we honor their enduring connection to this land. So for housekeeping to all our listeners, we will have a question and answer session at the end after our panelists do their presentation. So you can write your questions on the chats, your comments, and your suggestions. Our musician is Nom Tamsangam Kwananzi, aka Ngwali. She's an award-winning Zimbabwean artist from Bulawayo, Zimbabwe. She's a singer, a dancer, actress, and composer with over 20 years of international performance experience. She's also known for her powerful voice and captivating stage presence. She has performed on stages around the world and gained recognition for her award-winning a cappella album called Stokozile. Her music celebrates African heritage, storytelling, and resilience. Noma, welcome to our forum. Our first speaker today is Lindsay Machona. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Lindsay, a multifaceted leader whose life's work sits at the intersection of leadership, community, international, and community development. Based in Edmonton, Alberta, she is the executive director of a nonprofit that builds schools in marginalized communities globally, bringing over a decade of commitment to education and international development. A former federal member of parliament candidate, Lindsay has navigated the highest levels of civic and political engagement, carrying with her the lived experiences of a Black African woman in spaces that were not built for her and choosing to reshape them anyway. As a transformational speaker and leadership coach, Lindsay works with high-achieving women on identity reclamation and sovereignty, helping them strip away who they were told to be and step fully into who they are. Her signature framework, Reclamation, guides women through intersection of ambition, identity, and healing. Rooted in the diaspora and shaped by the Ubuntu principle that we rise together, RINS brings warmth, directness, and unflinching honest to every stage she stands on. She is a speaker who refuses to perform palatability and who invites every person in the room to do the same. Ladies and gentlemen, Lindsay, for you to talk about community leadership. Over to you, Lindsay.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Loveness, for the invitation and the warm opportunity to contribute on this platform. I want to start my speech with a confession. I have led from exhaustion and I've courted purpose. I've poured into communities while my own cup was cracked at the bottom. And I told myself that this is what strong women do. And as my introduction said, I'm a leader in the international and community development space. I have been involved in politics here in Canada and in Zimbabwe. And I really love working with women leaders, particularly coaching them through identity and the cost of carrying everybody else's vision while abandoning their own vision. And the reason I can talk about burnout, mental health, and sustainable leadership is because I've had to learn every one of these lessons the hard way. And I believe that if we are to truly be good members of society that contribute from a position of health and wealth, we need to be able to have conversations like this. And so I have 4 questions here that I'm going to go through in my 10-minute presentation to you. And the first question that I was given was, what does influence mean within diaspora communities? And I have realized that we have inherited a particular definition of influence. And it looks like being respected, being the one that people call upon, being the one who holds everything together. Maybe it's at a cultural event, in the family, at church, or at the community association. But I really want to challenge that. That is what we do. That is not what I consider personally to be influence. And I believe that real influence in our communities, the kind of influence that changes things, is when you're willing to be inconvenient. When you say the thing in a meeting that nobody wants to hear. When you model boundaries and your auntie says, you've become too Canadian. When you raise your daughter to say no and your mother doesn't understand why that is. And and this is coming from the work that I've observed living in Zimbabwe, living in South Africa, living in Canada here, and working in various other regions globally, and engaging with organizations and governments and communities. I can tell you that the most influential thing that I've ever done was not any of that. It was stopping performing leadership and actually start practicing it, because there's a difference. Performing leadership says, how do I look? How do people approve me? How do they validate me? But practicing leadership says, what is actually needed here? What is the truth that is needed here, even though it's inconvenient? It doesn't say, look at me, look at what I have done. It says, am I the one to be able to do it? And if the answer is no, are there other people that can step up, that have the skills and the experience to be able to do the job better than I can? So influence is not about being the loudest or the one that is most available. It is about the one who is most honest about who is the best person to be able to do the job. So influence can happen in the background. You don't need the spotlight. And yes, of course, it can happen with the spotlight, but I want to add that so many influencers just work sometimes in the background, having conversations, building community without the spotlight and without the highlights. And so just wanted to add that perspective to this discussion. And the next question that I was given is, how do we sustain leadership without burnout? And this is a big one. So many women, not just Black women, women in general, and even men, dare I say, that most of us, especially in the diaspora, struggle with burnout. But burnout, what I've come to learn, doesn't come from doing too much. Sometimes we say, I'm burned out because I'm doing too much. And I want to bring a shift and a different perspective to that. It comes from doing too much of what was never yours to carry in the first place. As women in the diaspora, many of us were raised in systems, families, churches, cultures, where our identity was built on being useful. Maybe you're the good daughter, you're the one who accommodates, you're the one who sends money, you're the one who doesn't complain, and we carry that identity into our leadership. We don't burn out because we're weak. Absolutely not. We're actually strong and we can do all these things. But we burn out because we are loyal to a version of ourselves that was never designed with our well-being in mind. It was designed so that we could be useful and we could survive. And so that is how I would reframe burnout. So when you want to sustain your leadership, you have to be willing to disappoint the version of you that everyone else depends on, not the real you that can actually lead. I call this the practice of unbecoming, releasing who you were told to be so you can lead from who you actually are. So here's one thing that I would like to give to our listeners that you can actually do this week. The next time somebody asks you to do something and you know you don't have the capacity, but you want to say yes, but you know your body is telling you no, I want to invite you to listen to your body. That is the data that you need. That tightening is the distance between the identity that you want to maintain and the truth of what you can actually hold and deliver. And so start there. That is how you can avoid burnout. And I could link that to the other point that I made earlier, that you don't have to be the one that does everything. Leadership means, yes, having the vision, bringing other people into the vision, and bringing other people with the resources, with the experiences to be able to contribute. You don't have to do everything, and you don't have to do everything alone. That is the starting point. So start by releasing what you don't need to carry. And also, as we're going to see in this conversation, we need to be able to delegate. We need to be able to ask for help. That is how we defeat burnout. It's stripping away that identity of who we think we've had to be to survive. And the next question I got was, what mental health challenges are unique to Black women leaders? And so here, I want to talk about the experience of Black women, especially here in the diaspora. We are navigating a mental health crisis that not many people really talk about, because for most of us, and I'm sure many of us will agree, we have been trained to call our coping mechanisms strength. We don't say I'm struggling, we say I'm just tired. We don't say I need help, we say I'll figure it out. And when people actually want to help and they approach you and they ask you how you're doing, you just say I'm fine, even though you know for sure you're not fine. And the world actually rewards you for it because they see your usefulness. They tell you that you're a hard worker, but really what you're doing is actually just over functioning. And our communities, they place an identity on us and they call us pillars. We are pillars of the community. And while that is a good thing, we don't have to be resilient when we don't need to be, because we've created a system that forces us to have to be resilient instead of thriving within those systems. So I want to invite you to start thinking about the mental health challenges that Black women face. And in just one aspect, tie that to who we have presented ourselves to be, always capable, always being the one that can carry everything, when sometimes we know for sure that what we're feeling inside and how we're expressing it is very different. So let us be truthful to how we're feeling and what we're experiencing and really present our authentic selves. If we are struggling, say, I am struggling. If you need help, be able to say, I need help with. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It actually means that you know where your limits are, and leaders know where their limits are. And there are challenges that are specific to Black women leaders. For example, the code switching tax, performing one identity at work, another identity at home, another in your community, and then you're wondering which of these identities is real. And also the invisibility of competence. When you're so good at holding everything together that nobody thinks to ask you how you're doing. And even if you're asked, you're not truthful because you fear losing that identity, that people will start calling you weak now that you're able to set boundaries, or you're now able to ask for help. And also, one other thing that I see us Black women struggling with in the diaspora is inherited silence. We come from communities where there's a lot of silence. So that intergenerational pattern where your mother didn't talk about her pain, so now you don't even have language for expressing your own pain. So mental health for Black women leaders is not about maybe having a meditation app, although that could help. Mindfulness could definitely help. But I believe that the root cause of it is at the core of how we define who we are. So it's about building an identity where you're actually allowed to be human, where rest is something that you don't have to earn. You actually build rest into your work, into the work that you do, and being intentional about resting and not fearing that you will be called lazy because you've taken a nap in the afternoon if you really need it. So really here we're going to the core of how these experiences show up for Black women in our communities and in our families every day. And so we want to reframe asking for help not as failure, but actually as strength, as knowing exactly what you need. Women who succeed, women who are there for others, know exactly where their limits are. So when you're not okay, say that with confidence and with pride, and let that be the bravest sentence that you've ever spoken. And question number 4 that I was given is, what lesson do I have for emerging young leaders? And I want to say this, if I could go back and tell the younger version of myself one thing, it would be this: stop waiting to be ready. Readiness is often a trap, not just for women, for everybody else, really. We just think we need one more certification, and we get all these qualifications and all these certifications. And even as we stack up these qualifications and certifications, we just don't feel enough. And we still don't feel we're there. We just tell ourselves, I'll just do this one more thing. And maybe I'll be able to do this one thing that I want to do. Let me have just one more year of experience. Let me just get one more yes from this other person that whose opinion I value so much. And while we are preparing, somebody else who is less qualified on those stacks that we're stacking walks into that room and takes the seat. So my lesson for young leaders is this: your leadership doesn't begin when you feel confident. It begins when you feel scared, and then you choose to speak anyway. When you feel like a fraud, when you have imposter syndrome, but you show up anyway. When you have no idea what you're doing and you raise your hand anyway and you say, I will figure it out. So don't wait for the world to tell you that you're ready. The world is not paying that much close attention to you, but start before you're ready. Lead before you're invited. And when someone questions whether you belong in the room, tell them that you're not there to belong in the room. You're actually there to help shape the room. And I want to leave you with this, with something simple. We talk about influence and burnout and mental health and leadership, and all those are important conversations. But underneath all of that is one question everyone in this room and any woman who is watching and listening right now and who is going to watch and listen after. This is the question: am I willing to be the woman that I actually am? Even if that woman is different from the woman that everybody else needs me to be. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lindsay Machona, for highlighting the most important aspect, that influence can be with or without the spotlight. We can all be leaders and help one another. And you also raise an important aspect again for Black women leaders, that whenever you feel exhausted or burnout, please reach for help, speak up, don't shy out, raise your voices, get help. And if you need some rest, please do rest. Don't force yourself to be a macho or super or she-hero for women or superhero for men, that you keep on working, and because of our identity and the way we were raised culturally, don't say, as Lindsay said, I'm okay when you are not okay. If you are not okay, please say, I'm not okay. Get some rest and reach for help if you need help. Thank you so much. One of our speakers could not join us today because she's not feeling well, and we also wish her well so that she will get well soon, and next time she will join us in one of our forums that are coming. Our guest speaker today, special guest that you are all waiting for, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce Dr. Cleopatra Mushonga. She's a cybersecurity expert, an AI governance specialist, and educator with over a decade of experience in academia and industry. She holds a PhD in information systems with research focus on text mining and knowledge discovery, a foundation rooted in what is now widely recognized as artificial intelligence. She is the co-founder of the Udade AI Collective and co-creator of the course AI Foundations for Africa. Initiatives focus on advancing AI literacy and inclusion. Dr. Cleo is passionate about empowering African and diaspora communities, particularly women, to actively participate in shaping the digital forum. Dr. Cleo, welcome.
Thank you for that wonderful, amazing introduction, Dr. Loveness, and thank you for this opportunity. I am quite honored to be sharing this platform with such incredible women who I've met personally in our circles in Edmonton. So a little bit about myself and my journey into academia. My journey began in 2010 in South Africa, shortly after I'd completed my master's. And I have a strong IT background. So, uh, as it would follow, I started lecturing IT courses in various academic institutions, including Cape Peninsula University of Technology. But more than that, I have always been fascinated by how fast technology has been evolving over time. I often say that I have lived through Moore's Law, and Moore's Law states that the number of transistors on a microchip doubles approximately every 2 years. So that's what we learned in 2007 when I was doing my first degree. Over time, that has changed, and the exponential growth of microchips is higher. It's like it takes now like 2 months for something new to come up. I actually remember the days of telephone booths and long distance calls, um, like long distance calls from Zimbabwe to Canada were insane. Just making that phone call was insane. Then all of a sudden, we had mobile phones, and then now we have WhatsApp. And now calling is just like as long as you have data. So fast forward to 2022, I completed my PhD, where my focus, as Dr. Loveness has said, was on text mining for knowledge discovery in project environments. Today, that is exactly what is called AI, and specifically in the field of natural language processing. But what is interesting is that back in 2017, when I was defending my proposal, and this I actually discovered recently when I was reading a book by Dr. Fei Li, um, studying AI in the early 2000s, and I maybe until the time I'm studying, because I studied in South Africa, so some things take effect a little bit later, as you'd all know. Back then, it was not popular to present a research topic on AI because people had just come out of what was called the AI winter. So people thought that AI had failed and it wasn't promising at that time. So um, overall, what I'm trying to say is that I've been working in AI for a long time, and today I'm a practicing academic in cybersecurity. My focus is on helping people, especially the young generations, to understand that technology is not just technical. There are also um, social parts about technology, and technology is fast transforming our lives, our economies, and also our futures. So it's important to understand it and also to keep an eye on the associated risks, especially as it pertains to AI. So as you can see, our my talk is mainly on technology, unlike Lindsay, she was mainly on leadership as she's a community leader. So my first question that I was presented was that how is AI shaping global opportunities? What is the risk of African voices being left behind, and what is the importance of representation in tech? So, in my opinion, I believe that the African diaspora has a critical role to play in shaping AI for Africa. But as an academic myself, I believe that we need to start with awareness and literacy, just like what we do when we're raising children. We teach them this is right, this is wrong, this is the way to go. So the fact that if someone knows how something works, they are in a better space to make it work for them effectively, and also to identify any risks that are associated. So let me share maybe a personal experience that happened recently. I received some backlash when I publicly supported Zimbabwe's decision to stop the export of lithium. Yeah. So lithium actually plays a critical supporting role in the AI era because everyone knows that batteries, lithium batteries for our cell phones, and so most of the devices uh, run on the devices and infrastructure that AI runs on depends on lithium. So it is a key component in the AI era. Even if you think of electric vehicles, if you think of the data centers, all of that needs some backup energy. So, and this is where lithium comes into place. So for me, when I applauded the Zimbabwean government for that, it wasn't a political or policy from a point of policy or politics. It was because it meant something more to me. It meant that we are now recognizing the value of our own resources, and we are ready to participate in the global economy, not just as a place where people grab raw materials from, but we want to be part of that value creation. And I know there's other aspects that need to be considered, but that for me was a good thing. So it's the literacy and awareness that I'm advocating for, is that we are aware, we become aware of the power that we possess, and we also become players on the global economy. The second question that I had was women leadership and digital inclusion. What are the barriers African women face in tech and innovation? Why does inclusion in AI matter? And what is the role of education and mentorship? And this is my favorite. So I recognize that there are so many barriers, especially for women of color, in terms of leadership and inclusion. And there's so much for us to learn, to adjust so that we can become the people who we are meant to be. But for me personally, many of my barriers um, have actually been culturally ingrained, so to say. So as Lindsay was saying, oh, we're always chasing after a certificate after certificate. That is actually me. And you always think that I'm not ready, also, and so forth. But when I'm saying it's culturally ingrained, I can have so many certifications. I do have a PhD, but I do not have, from the way I was raised, I do not have that self-advocacy. I was raised to be humble. I was raised that don't blow your own horn. And also, as a woman, as a mother, I'm also a grandmother, I have family responsibilities. And so my family comes before my career. And let's not even talk about black tax, because all of that contributes to how we present ourselves. Okay, so these realities slow down also our personal ambitions and also prevent us from raising our hands, from stepping forward for opportunities. But I also want to come from a different perspective, that the way that we're raised is not all doom and gloom. We, as women, as African women or women at large, we are just naturals, and we build communities. In Zimbabwe, we carry our children on our backs, and we carry the community on our backs, like literally. So, and I want to talk about this other experience that I had last month. I was on a panel for Black History Month, And there was a discussion, a debate sort of about mentorship and compensation. That if mentors need to be compensated. I know, I do recognize that it's important to be rewarded for your efforts. But as African women, we have been raised to lift others as we rise. When I posted this event, I said, "Shirere mangwana chizokurerawo," which is an African proverb that says, if you take care of your child today, tomorrow they'll take care of you. And this does not mean financially. It means that if you take care of children today, the future generation, they will build a society that is conducive for you in your elderly lives. So it's not only about our kindness, but it is also about our security for the future. So I think that we have a big role to play as educators, as mentors, um, especially leadership mentors within our communities, ensuring that no woman feels like this space is not meant for her, was not designed for her. We just being present in the moment and allowing yourself to fail as you try. And the last question for my presentation was, what are the practical opportunities? How can African women leverage AI today in terms of business, content creation, health, and community impact? So um, my response to that is start simple. With AI, you can start using tools like ChatGPT to brainstorm ideas, explain what you're trying to get out, and it will give you a structure for your business plans, for your content creation, and also even medical advice. There are many tools out there that you can use outside of ChatGPT, like you can even automate your processes using tools like Make and Zapier. It can make automated responses for you for your emails when you put them all together. Uh, the thing that we need to be aware of when it comes to using AI is we still need to have the knowledge, the subject matter knowledge. So while I'm saying that you can use ChatGPT for medical advice, please don't rely on it because AI can hallucinate. So always go to an expert. Uh, Even when you are doing your work, be it in school or as a business, you still need to have that eye of questioning the AI. How did you get to this? Why that doesn't make sense? So you still need that foundational education, that grade 1 to 7, form 1 to 6, so that you're able to understand or challenge whatever the AI brings to you. So I think we're gonna explore more questions as we go into the open session. But what I want to leave you with is that um, the AI tools are here, the opportunities are in front of us. The question that I will leave with is, will you use those tools to build our communities, to lead within our communities, to transform our communities? Or are we going to stand by and let others shape our future and let others decide how we should use the AI tools? I think I'll stop here for now and engage in the discussion.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cleopatra Mushonka, for raising the most important point about the importance of AI. As you mentioned, we have somewhere to start. We can start with ChatGPT and other tools. As we flow during this modern era, it is important for us to follow by and don't be left behind. I also like the idea for the tip that you said in terms of medical insights. When you actually use Chat GPT, it hallucinates, so sometimes you need to reach out to the medical expert. I think it resonates with me. One time I was actually trying to look for the symptoms of what I was feeling, and I started panicked and having anxiety. And thank you for the tip that I still need to reach out to the medical expert. As you have already said, it is important for us to use AI and all these tools, because for African men and women, if our AI do not shape us, then it means it can shape us without us even in the future. So it is important to roll along and use these gadgets. So I will take this time to go to the panel discussion for both of you, and I'm going to ask questions, and you can actually, either of you, answer the questions. And my first question
Yep.
is, what must African women stop waiting for?
I would say we should stop waiting for permission from
Yes.
our families, from our culture, from institutions, and honestly from each other. The seat at the table is not going to be offered. Sometimes it may be offered, but you need to be able to self-advocate. You need to advocate for it. And we should not shy away from self-promotion. We should be able to proudly say, this is what I have created, this is what I have produced, and this is how this can be of value to this particular problem or challenge that an organization, a community, or even the whole world has. You have the smarts to actually create something that people can adopt to solve problems. So the idea here is that don't wait for an invitation to come to the table, because sometimes the table itself actually needs to be rebuilt. So stop waiting to be chosen. Choose yourself. That's not selfishness. When you choose yourself first, you actually show others that they can do the same. And then what you create not only benefits you, but it benefits families, communities, and the whole world at large. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dr. Cleo?
Just to add to that, I think the other thing is waiting for confidence. Sometimes, and I read this somewhere actually, confidence actually comes after the action. You build confidence as you go. If you're sitting at home and thinking that confidence will come to you, it's not going to come to you. You have to be in those places to practice the lack of confidence and how you overcome that lack of confidence and how you sail through that moment and come out alive afterwards. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to die. Lindsay said something else that resonated with me, that the world is not actually paying attention to you. Do your best with what you have at that moment, because maybe they're actually waiting for you to do that before they start paying attention to you. Yeah.
That's very important, because mostly some people, they have that fear of starting something. Some people may actually know what they want to do, but they have that procrastination and lack of confidence, as you all said. So the best thing is to believe in yourself and start somewhere, and then everything else will follow up. And my second question to both of you is, how do we protect mental wellness while leading?
Do you want to go first, Dr. Cleo?
Yeah, sure, I can go first. With mental wellness, I think most of us, I have personally gone through mental health issues, and what got me out of it was acceptance that this is actually happening to me, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. And as expected, because we are women, we have family responsibilities, leadership responsibilities, financial responsibilities. We often reach burnout at some point. And admitting to yourself is the first stage that I am tired. I need that nap. I don't, even if people call me lazy, I have to lie down right now. So that's the first way of protecting your mental well-being, admitting to yourself that you have reached your limits, and then acting upon it.
Absolutely. I totally agree with everything that you said, Dr. Cleo, that who you are is non-negotiable. It's not up for debate. That you are the most important asset because you're the one who is doing the work and who is producing the work. And what I've seen is the way the world and the system is structured is all about output and what we can put out there with paying very little attention to who is doing all of this work and who is being productive and who is producing all of these results. But I think that if we are to build a community and a world where people are healthy and our well-being is of utmost importance, we need to start paying attention to the most important resource that we have, which is us, which is the people. So I personally protect my own mental wellness by being honest about what is draining me. And this has been a game changer. It's not just about what is on my calendar, but what is all of this that is on my calendar costing me, costing my family, impacting my community, and impacting my productivity, and really being honest about that. And exactly like Dr. Cleo said, knowing where your limits are, know where your limit is. And what has also transformed my mental wellness is learning to say that no is a complete sentence. I do not owe anybody a whole essay on why I can't do something or why I can't be at some place. If I say I cannot, that's okay. If I want to let them know the reason, yes, it doesn't have to be a lecture. I could just say I have another commitment. I will support you next time, or I will show up for you next time. Or I'm unable to do it this week, but I can do it next week or the month after that. Or I am not in a position to support right now, but I know another person who may be able to support you because I want to be able to be there for you and support you and share maybe those contacts. So I want to say to women and really everybody, I know this panel is about women, but all of these they do relate to everybody in general. Every no you say to something isn't yours. It's a yes to yourself. And that just makes you better. It doesn't make you less productive or less useful at all.
Thank you. Know your limits and boundaries. Pay attention to how you feel. If you feel tired, get some rest. If you feel like you want to speak up, speak up. Don't overwork yourself or overdo to avoid burnout. So it is very important for all of us. What does collaboration look like in real terms?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I think collaboration means taking time to really do things together, not just going to events and or sending someone a LinkedIn invite and saying, "Oh, we're looking forward to collaborating in the future." It's about action. It's about action, working together on something, be it opportunities. If there's an opportunity, think of someone who might be good enough for that opportunity and share that opportunity. I don't know how many jobs I've gotten just from someone sponsoring me or mentioning my name, advocating for me in my absence, and that is collaboration. And collaboration is building things together that help the community, that help us as humans to move forward. So if you come together and plan an event, for example, that brings the community together, that's collaboration. What I'm trying to say is that let's not view collaboration as something that we claim to do but are not actually doing. That is just on paper or just on a LinkedIn message. Oh, we'll collaborate together. No, let's actually do work on projects like the course that my sister and I created that Dr. Loveness mentioned, AI Foundations for Africa. I collaborated with my sister. I collaborated with other people within the community, with other people that I've never met before, because I needed to hear different perspectives from Kenya, from South Africa. I've lived there, so I had some context. But what is happening actually today on the ground? I'm not there, but someone else who's there can help me with those insights. So that's collaboration for me, where I'm able to do something, but someone else or other people are able to also contribute towards the same goal.
So thank you very much, Dr. Cleo. That's a very excellent contribution, especially the part when you said you lived in South Africa, but it's been a while since you've been there and things have shifted, things have moved. That takes a lot of humility to say, I have a gap in knowledge here, and somebody else can come and fill in that gap. And together we're building this wholesome tool that is going to help and support people. That is very, very important. For me, collaboration looks like sharing power. Who has who is making the decisions? Is it one person? Is it a top-down approach? Are you bringing everybody to the table whose lives will be impacted by that decision? And not just bringing them to the table, are you giving them a voice to be heard? And not just giving them a voice, are you understanding them? Are you hearing them? And then are you asking them for how they think that problem could be solved? And then are you also taking that contribution into consideration? Because that can look very different. We could pay lip service, like Dr. Cleo said, and said, we collaborated, but then we want to dig deep and then ask, how was this collaboration done? And usually when we look deep, it's mostly about we went into a community or we had a meeting and then everybody shared their thoughts and then it went up. It was recorded and then that was it, and the decision was made somewhere else. So for me, collaboration is really sharing power. It also with individuals who have traditionally been left out or marginalized from decision making. And it also looks like sharing your contact or your platform or a funding lead with another woman who is wondering how they may get their business up and going, their career up and going. That's also collaboration. They have probably not asked you for help, but you've seen an opportunity for you to step in with a resource that you have to support them. And so in real terms, collaboration means I don't need to be the only one winning for my work to matter. So and here, especially in the diaspora and everywhere else, to be honest, we have to stop treating each other as competition.
Yes.
When the system that we're already in is already stacked against all of us. So it means we need to come together, that we are not each other's competitors, but we are each other's supporters and not gatekeepers for each other. That is what how I would sum up collaboration.
Thank you so much for raising such an important point that we are not competitors, and also that we have to reach out to the grassroots in our communities, because I've heard in our communities, most Black women actually complaining that for Black people, we don't support one another. Sometimes if I go to Lindsay and ask her, how did you get to this position? And I go to Cleo and say, how did you come up with this foundation? They will just say, it's not easy, it's difficult, you have to do some work, some research, and then they just leave it there. But it's like you leave me in the limbo. I don't even have the information or the know-how to say, okay, I reached out to this organization, or I applied for a grant or for this. So you find people complaining that mostly Black women, we don't support each other. So as we have already said, we have to encourage each other to share the resources, share the knowledge with other sisters, even brothers as well. We can include them in the sharing, and it's very important for us, because your win is also my win. Dr. Cleo, this question I think is actually specifically focusing on you. How can African women in our communities start engaging with AI today, even without a tech?
So for AI, you don't need a tech background. I don't know which mountain I should go on top of to say that. You just need, today, you just need language, English language. Just be able to communicate. So even if you're unable to type, as long as you can use your voice, you can also use your voice to prompt it. And I think as things are advancing, we're starting to see Google Translate being embedded in most of the AIs so that you can, I hope at some point, we'll be able to even prompt in Shona. So where to start? Start simple. If you haven't used ChatGPT, just start with ChatGPT. If you're more advanced, explore tools like Notebook LM. Oh, Notebook LM is a life changer right now. And it's a Google AI. You can do your slides in there. You can do your trending lines, you can do video scripts, audio scripts. So if you're a content creator, you want to do some content creation, just put your ideas or upload some files, and then you can get your video or audio podcast, even two people talking to each other. It's so exciting. So where to just start simple. And if you see the conversations that I have with my AIs, they are so funny. So sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, I lose sleep, and then I just start asking even about. I need to change the layout in my lounge. I don't like that color. And then we start brainstorming, and then maybe ChatGPT or Gemini says, "Oh, maybe you should put a purple color." Then I say, "Where did you get purple from? There's nothing purple in my house. What are you talking about?" So what am I trying to say? Challenge the AI, the outputs that come out from your AI. If you're recommended purple and you don't even like purple, why are you recommending purple? There's another example that I always give where um, I prompted ChatGPT about creating a figurine for my family, and he said, "Oh, that's a copyright. Simba's Pride is a copyright from Disney." I'm like, "No, dude, Simba Simbarashe is my son's name and my husband's name. So you can't tell me I can't use that. And Simba is power. If you go to Swahili, it's lion. So there's no copyright there. So you should be able to have the requisite knowledge to challenge the output. Like even if it's a medical inquiry, um, just don't take it at face value. Go to your doctor and ask also, and you can even tell your doctor, I use ChatGPT and ChatGPT said, and they will obviously tell you that I'm the expert here, but at least you have done your research about your condition, right? What else? I hope I answered the question. In other words, just be curious and keep on trying. Explore different AIs that are there, different tools for different functions, even for your business, even when you are studying. It's also a very powerful tool for studying, not for cheating, not for whoever students who are out there listening to us. Do not use ChatGPT to
ChatGPT
cheat.
to do the assignment. That's what most of them are doing now. They are
If you're using an AI to do your to help with your assignment, you need to put your ideas first. And I was speaking to one of my lecturer friends, and they were saying that I'm starting to ask my students to give me the prompt that they prompted the AI with, and then the outputs, so that we know what were you even thinking in the first place for it to be refined this way. So, but at the end of the day, we want to learn. We want to have the knowledge and we also want to enhance our creativity. Um, Instead of thinking too much about how to do something, we can get the AIs to help us to refine our ideas, but the idea has to come from you because the AI doesn't actually know anything. It's actually relies on prediction, predicting the next uh, set of words that are going to come up. So it doesn't have knowledge. You should gain the knowledge so that you can use the AI effectively.
Thank you so much. When you say that for students, mostly they just go on ChatGPT and then put whatever information and get assignment. So most people are saying that AI is encouraging laziness, that people don't think anymore. They just let it think for themselves. And sometimes,
Yes, and it is actually true. So, you need to continuously train your brain to keep on thinking because we're all going to, we might all fall into that trap of everything. We want AI to do it for us, even for emails at work. Sometimes I feel like I'm spending 30 minutes drafting an email that I could have typed in 5 minutes because I'm trying to refine it with AI. So what is my purpose today? So let's also retain our power as people. Sorry
uh,
to cut you off, Dr.
no,
Loveness.
it's
I get
okay.
so excited.
It's okay. I'm actually appealing and proposing a challenge to us who are in the diaspora from Africa and also third world countries. As we want our countries to flow with the use of technology and AI, we all know most of the schools, they don't have, like rural areas, they don't have even computers, and the kids are being
Yeah.
raised and don't even know how to use the technology. So I'm appealing to the diasporans who are from the third world countries to collaborate. As we are talking about collaboration, collaboration
Mhm.
takes a lot of things that we can do. If like 5 people, we donate each one of us some money, we buy 1 or 2 computers, and we actually donate it to one school so that at least the students have a feel of knowing how to use a computer, and then they'll
What is,
also end
yeah.
up knowing, because some of them do not even know how to type just simple basic things before we talk about AI. So that's one thing we need to start discussing, start collaborating. We donate it one school, then we go to another school, and if we all do, we make changes, and then even Africa and third world countries will flow. Then they will also join in this modernity of using the AI, the technology, and everything. My last question is,
And you're so
yes, go ahead, Dr. Cleo.
sorry, I get so excited. Yes, all right, Dr. Loveness, because if you think or if you think of all the creativity, some of the things that you see coming from the rural areas, from different parts of Africa, some kids uh, making helicopters or things like that without even the computer skills. Imagine the power that would have if we empower these kids. So I think you're onto something there, Dr. Loveness.
Thank you so much. Dr. Lindsay, do you have anything to say?
I will respectfully accept that title. Thank you. And no, I do not have a PhD.
Sorry about
But
that.
I received maybe someday, maybe someday.
I think, I'm actually, it's a prophecy.
Yes.
Yes.
The doctor in the making.
Yes.
You also work with
Yes.
marginalized communities, and I think maybe what we are saying to work in collaboration, especially for our African countries and third world countries, to do that, like make donations for like computers, 1, 2, 3 for every school. Maybe it can make some changes in the world.
Yes, absolutely. And I was going to share two things. I was going to tag onto Dr. Cleo's comment about using AI. And I used Notebook LMM to I input my a proposal that I was doing for this organization. And then I asked it to give me the two-person podcast, and I downloaded that and I sent that to the person who was receiving the proposals. And they were very impressed, because what they liked about it is that the critique had already been done. It's like they were a third party observing other people who are not part of this project, really having an objective critique of this proposal. And that really worked. So there are so many opportunities to do things differently, and you still have to put in the work, like Dr. Cleo said. But yes, there are opportunities to use AI to really stand out, to innovate, and produce different results. And Dr. Loveness, you mentioned the computers. I know for Edmonton here and Alberta that many governments and many organizations replace their technology after 4, 5, or even 6 years, and it's still in good working condition. And there are organizations that receive that technology, clean them up, and then you can submit an application for those refurbished or repurposed computers and iPads and things like that that we could actually ask for and then ship to Zimbabwe or whichever country. So those resources are available, and there are organizations that handle some of those technicalities. So in closing, I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity to be here on this platform, to be amongst such smart, amazing women who value community, who value progress, and who are contributing towards the betterment of humanity. I feel so blessed to have been a part of this discussion and a part of this panel. And my parting words would be to every woman, to every girl who is listening, and any of the audience here who are not necessarily women or girls, is that you are not behind. You are exactly where you are meant to be. What you need to do right now is then to ask yourself, how can you be of value? How can you step up so you can contribute based on your strengths, based on your experiences, on your expertise, and on who you are? Celebrate your difference. Your difference is supposed to make that whole cloth that we're weaving special. If your thread, your particular thread is missing, that fabric is not going to look as beautiful as it would have looked with your contribution in it. So don't deny the world of your greatness because you feel small, or you feel like you don't belong, or you're waiting for somebody else to see you. Just ask yourself, what can I solve, and how can I contribute with what I have, so that we can make this world a much better place for everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much to our panelists. And now we open the floor to the audience if in case we have any questions. I just want to thank Dr. Cleo and Lindsay for the insightful contributions you have made today about leadership, healing, and resilience. May these conversations continue beyond this room, and may the insights we have gained guide our actions. And thank you also to our audience. May we continue to rise. We also want to take the opportunity to appreciate our sponsors, the Foundation of Black Communities, Africa Center, and all other sponsors today. And we'll invite also donations to help us with this cause so that we can bring you more forums, and also to help all those who need help, like we were saying about donating computers to our schools and rural communities. So I'll now leave you to listen to the wonderful music from Norma.
Okay, so just a point of correction there. My artist name is Nkwali, Nkwali. I'm based in BC. Yeah, I learned a lot today. Thank you so much, Dr. Cleo and Lindsay. As women, it's okay not to be okay. we tend to feel like we are supermen and superwomen who have to. It's okay to burn the soup at some point, it's fine. It's okay to reach out to someone if you're not feeling okay. And it's okay to help each other, to check on each other. Do we check on each other as women? Are you okay? I feel it's very important. The last song that I'm going to share with you is called Imbogodo. It's one of my singles that I released, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. It also has a music video. You can go to YouTube and actually watch the video. So in this song, I'm saying, let's love our women. Let's support them. So yeah, enjoy.
Yeah.
Sibathande, sibahloniphe, sibafikele, bazimbokodo. Sibathande, sibahloniphe, sibafikele, bazimbokodo. Oh, mama, uyimbokodo, uyimbokodo, uyimbokodo. Mama, uyimbokodo, uyimbokodo, uyimbokodo. Siyekeleni, siyekela ukubashayo mama. Oh, baligugu mama, baligugu lomhlaba, mama. Uyimbokodo, uyimbokodo, uyimbokodo. Mama, uyimbokodo, uyimbokodo, uyimbokodo. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You all have a wonderful day, and please share, subscribe to our channels, and share comments of what you expect us to talk to you about. You all have a wonderful day all over the world where you are. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.